Okay, number 6. We have a cooler that contains 5 colas, 8 root beers, and 3 ginger ales. 3 people grab a drink at random, one at a time. What is the probability that the first person grabs a cola, the second person grabs a ginger ale, and the third person grabs a cola? So this is a little different. We're using a property that we've used in the past, but not so far in the section. We're going to find the probability 3 times. 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to use the counting principle and multiply them all together. So let's go through. This is part A. We want the probability for the first person. So our first probability, they're going to grab a cola out of the total. Okay, so how many colas are there? 5. And how many drinks are in the cooler? 5 plus 8 plus 3 is 16. Okay, so the first person goes to the cooler. There's a 5 in 16 chance they're going to grab a cola. And then someone else goes up to the cooler and they want to grab a ginger ale. But something's changed. Number 1, this guy took a cola, so our total is now 15. But how many ginger ales are in there? There's still 3, because the first guy took a cola. Okay, now let's do our third guy, or girl, I guess. Third person goes to the cooler, and they want a cola. But what's the new total? 2 people have already gone in front of them and got their drinks. So we're down to 14 drinks in the cooler. How many colas are in the cooler? 4, because the first person already took one. So now that we have all of our probabilities, we're going to use the counting principle, which we've learned in the past. And we're going to multiply all of our probabilities together. And that tells us the overall probability. So 5 over 16 times 3 over 15 times 4 over 14. Oops. Comes down to 1 in 56. So there's a 1 in 56 probability that this scenario could happen. Okay, now let's look at B. What's the probability that the third person grabs a root beer, given that the first 2 grab a cola? So on this one, we're jumping to the third person. So we want a root beer, given the total. Okay, well look at our total for third. If 2 people have already gone, our total's down to 14. But the first 2 took colas. No one's taken a root beer. So how many root beer? There's still 8 in there. Okay, and then we're going to reduce this. So these both divide by 2. I'm just going to do it without decimals this time. So there's a 4 in 7 chance that this scenario could happen.